Faction Podcast, episode 111, Terminated Sellouts.
Superman.
Episode 111. Ooh. And I was about to say Spotlight. Nope, 111 Terminated Sellouts. So we're switching things up a bit now at the Cult Faction Studios. We're going to do 1 week Spotlight, 1 week general discussion. We're going to look back at the newsblast that went out earlier in the week, give a bit more depth around those stories. We're bringing back the Drop Zone. Yes, yay! Ladies and gentlemen, it's back. They've whinged, they've moaned at me for the best part of a year,
and that's just the listeners.
Finally relented.
Yep.
And we're bringing it back.
We're going to look at the latest trailers and give our views and opinions.
Yes.
And we're trying to refrain from Alex, alright?
Yeah. We'll try and add some more depth to our comments, some more, something a bit more interesting than just, I might give it a go, or if it's on, I'll watch it. And I apologise, but my phone looks a bit wonky, so if you're going to get a bit of a migraine from watching this, you might want to zoom in a little bit if you're watching on a tablet or something.
It's Dutch angle.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's
I'm not getting up and changing it now, so...
It's artsy, it's Dutch angle.
Don't
know what it is, look it up. Media studies.
Boom. Right, as you may have noticed and can see, as usual, on most weeks anyway, I am joined in the studio by...
Paul Hawkins.
And
Brett Summers.
And we're in light as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, brighten things up in the studio.
And I'm trying not to be loud when I say my name.
Well, you can be loud. You can be loud.
As long as it's
keep the consistency. And speak into the microphone.
We're moving forwards.
Remember, kids, always speak into that microphone.
If someone puts a microphone in your face, speak into it. Okay, so we crack on.
Let's do it.
Enough preamble, I reckon.
Do it. Crack one out.
So, what's been going down in Groovetown this week?
Crack one out?
Yeah, I wish you hadn't said that.
That's not a saying.
Well, it's a saying. It's a saying for having a fart. Having a fart? Doing a fart. Farting. I'm doing a fart.
Are we 5?
Well, I've got 2 kids under the age of 5, so my language, the way I speak, has definitely changed. Anyway, as Paul is taking a gulp of drink, I'm going to go to you first, Mr. Summers. How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been okay, really. We're near the end of the summer holes now. Work is looming. GCSE results have been back. And
did your class do okay?
All is good. A little bit miffed that there was a few 3s and not 4s, but that's not really their fault. That's because the evil empire...
You can only blame the teacher.
No, all the fact the evil empire moved the boundaries and marked everyone down a bit.
Yes.
So, it's nationwide. I can't moan too much, but no, they worked hard, it was all good. And my head's not on the chopping block, so it's all good.
Everyone's a winner in the game of life.
Oh, yes.
Okay. That's your week, is it?
Pretty much, yeah. It's all been now.
It's all rolling into one from now because he's had 5 weeks off.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know what day of the week it is if there wasn't a podcast on tonight.
It's true. Yeah.
You're right.
Fair enough. What about you, Mr. Hawkins?
Bank holiday, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So took the kids out on a long walk.
Ooh.
Although Shell had
middle class.
Well, Shell had to go and do some work, and so she took Kira with her. So it's like, well, I don't have a car. Come on, kids. Let's go around the local
pub.
No.
Here's a Coke, sit in the garden. Daddy chats with
some crisps.
That wouldn't have gone down well with Shell when she came home. No, but I took them to the valley, where I used to play when I was a kid.
Did you give them a bottle of Thunderbone?
No.
And come back in half an hour?
No, but in the era before, we used to go there. In the era when you used to find sticks and have sword fights and stuff like that. And so it's all overgrown. They loved it. I was surprised about how much they enjoyed just going around the local woods. And then they realised we were quite close to Nanny and Grandad, so we had to pop in and see them.
Cool.
So we had that. Then we had a barbecue. Sad times in the Hawkins household because the barbecue is going.
You said it was on its way out.
However,
You're going to go. You're not going for a gas one, are you? You're going to betray us all.
However, I spent several hours online researching barbecues, and the new one should be here tomorrow. Hey!
And it's a cold one, isn't it?
Yes, Damien, it is a cold one. It is.
You haven't gone for that ninja thing, have you?
No.
It's got a grill about the size of a plate.
I'm picturing it like the lawnmower in Romeo and Juliet.
no,
Master 5000.
It's quite a big one, and I had to get permission before I bought it. And actually, Shell convinced me to buy it because normally I wouldn't purchase something this expensive for myself.
Well, they're not cheap now. I mean, even my one, which is it's a two size grill thing, it's like 200 and something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I went for Heston Blumenthal's barbecue, and it's even got a spit roast. And
Has it got like a molecular water dropper on it or something?
It's got a special electrical heater that can get the coals up to speed within 10 minutes. It's
doing it for you.
Cheap.
That's like, what's that machine
No.
that tells you what to put in and then it makes a cake or something?
Yeah.
You know me, I wouldn't go for it if it was electric, but this just saves the environment from having to use fuels. So you still do
The
it.
only fuel I can smell is
So
bullshit.
what is the fuel that?
You don't have to have
it's
it.
one of those lava things, is it?
No,
You just fill it with your own shit and it powers it.
no, it's still coal. You have to get proper lumpwood charcoal. And all it has is an ignition system, so you don't have to put on the lighter fuel and all that kind of stuff. And it's got rotisseries that come out like
Tell them, Paul!
Yeah. Look at the camera and say.
Well, no,
And if
'cause
You
you're
should do
watching-
when's it arriving tomorrow?
hopefully
Do an
tomorrow.
unboxing video.
Yeah.
Stick it on the channel.
And it's like, if you're watching, we haven't got one yet.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I don't. It won't. I've built a kitchen around my barbecue. I don't want.
No, so
I can't
measured
get a
them.
new one.
Oh, I'll have it then.
I measured up, and it can just fit into our shelter for the barbecue as well. No, so I'm looking forward to this.
Well, that was barbecues in the world, and we'll be back next week.
Well, it's Dad's 75th birthday in a couple of weekends' time, so I was thinking about doing like a hog roast or something like that for him.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
so, yeah, I know it's a bit sad to be excited about barbecue, but this one looks quite good, and I got permission to buy it. No, better than that, she convinced me to buy it. She said, "No, you don't spend much on yourself. Do it, and you love your barbecues." I said, "Oh, all right then." There goes Kira's college
Gaslit,
money.
I think. There's some gaslighting going on there somewhere.
Someone's weird there.
Yeah. And so other than that, no, that was about my weekend.
Sweet.
Watching YouTube videos of the Hub 2 with Heston Blumenthal cooking on there.
And is it a wipe clean barbecue?
Well, I have to wipe it clean, yeah.
Oh, there you do.
Yeah.
You love it. Anyway, before we degrade.
Yeah. Let's move on, shall we?
Shall we?
Okay. So I guess it's what we've been watching.
I've been watching YouTube videos of Heston Blumenthal.
It's not within a barbecue.
But we've also been watching Yellow Jackets.
Oh, that's the plane crash. That's what I've been watching.
I
Yeah.
know, yeah. So,
So where you up to?
I think it's the 3rd episode of season 2.
All right. Gone quite the way through them.
That's pretty much most of what we've been watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's alright. It's got a lot of flashbacks, flash forwards, which it's not your normal go-to thing for you.
No.
But I'm liking it. I have a feeling though, which is a bit annoying, if they've just done it so it's an old-fashioned ye olde plane crash, Lord of the Flies type thing, but they seem to be introducing the supernatural element, which I don't think they needed to do.
I don't think they're doing it. I don't think it is super. I think it's all in their minds, but it's
you've
about
got
how
that
a
one-
religion. Yeah, you
But
got
you've got that one girl that.
Yeah, but that's what I
sees
mean. It's
stuff.
all in her. I don't think she is.
Okay.
Well, I don't think it's supposed to be. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think it's more about how a religion can spark up out of just one person having an idea. Because she goes on to do the cult thing.
I know
and
this.
all that.
But it's also the flash, the visions that she sees as well.
Yeah.
So as long as I don't
think they might
dwell too much on that.
Yeah,
because
that
it's
might
not
be.
needed.
They've got a six season story arc apparently, or five or six. So yeah, that might be where they're going, but that's not what I'm not seeing it that way. I'm seeing it the other way. I'm seeing it as all grounded. It's just in her mind.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest. I was getting to your 3 episodes into season 2.
Yeah.
This where I started to lose a bit of interest, to be honest. But
we'll see.
I'll still stick with it and watch season 3 when it comes out. Presumably.
Yeah, so we've done Yellow Jackets. As I said, we watched a few of those. We watched next episode of Billions, and it doesn't look like Axe is going to be making any more of an appearance. Still good, but and we watched Elemental over the weekend, the Disney Pixar one with different elements in. It's a bit of a shame. There's no baddies in it. Could have been, but it's not. It's just water.
That's the one that lost like a ton of money at the box office, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see why. Because it's just about water and fire trying to get it on in like Romeo and Juliet fashion. But no, it's just not that great. It's not a family film. It's not really anything. Missed the trick. But yeah, it was cheaper than going to the cinema anyway.
No, fair enough.
That's me.
Fair dues. Mr. Summers?
Right.
Oh, here we go.
I've got a list this week. And there's a couple, I can't remember when I watched them, so I may have already talked about them. If I have,
we'll let you know.
Yeah. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Okay.
No.
Didn't like that.
First time I've seen that. The thing that impressed me most is that it's years after Titanic, and Kate Winslet looks about 20 years younger than she did in Titanic. So I thought that was quite good. But
just because she's wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And
she's just young.
And she's got different coloured
She's
hair.
got frostbite.
But yeah, it was.
And she let go of him as well.
I enjoyed it for what it was. I like the sort of twisty turny bit of it in this whole you can wipe a memory thing. I think they could have played with that a bit more. They hinted at things, but wasn't a bad cast, and yeah, I'd never seen it, and I have now, and yeah, no, it was good. We also watched the new release of Sky, more a cult film for who's in it, really. A good person. It's
that's right. Yeah.
Florence Pugh and Morgan Freeman.
I was waiting to get your lowdown before I watched it.
It's really good. It's a very serious film. Florence Pugh.
She kills someone, doesn't she?
Basically.
She's on a bike and she's responsible for someone dying or something.
She's engaged to this dude, God's son. What's his name?
Jesus.
No.
Jesus.
What's his name? Morgan Freeman, his son.
All right. Okay.
And and then she's driving his sister and husband they're going to the theatre or something, and she looks at her phone and there's an accident and it all smashes up, and of course because she looks at her, they die and she's killed.
Is it just some child
and
stood by the side of the road? That's my mum and dad you killed.
Their kids at school, which is her kind of niece if she married him, and then it jumps to a year later and she's basically like an addict and everything now because everything obviously has gone to shit for her, and she ends up going to a like an AA type group, and Morgan Freeman's there.
Yeah.
And she goes to walk out and goes, no, stay. And then so I don't want to give it all away, and then more stuff unfolds. So there's layers to it, and it is really good. There is a nice bit because Morgan Freeman's got a thing with a train set, and when he does like the talking and all that when she goes around his house, he goes, it's like you're playing God.
Yeah.
It's not joint playing, I think they make that joke about 3 times at different points. It's like, yeah, we get it. Yeah. But no, it's really well acted. It's definitely more drama, but there are lots of people in it you realise from the cult TV world, like God himself, Morgan Freeman, Florence Blackwood Pugh, and some other people whose names I've forgotten now. but you'll see the faces. But yeah, really good though. But very deep drama.
Yeah.
So not if you're in for a fun Saturday night or whatever. If you're in that kind of mood, it's good. Yeah. Also rewatched The Descent from about 2003.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
Yeah, 20 odd years ago.
Yeah. Still holds
That's
up
the
for
pot
me.
holding one, isn't
Yeah,
it?
when the girl gang go down. And
The girl gang go down. That's what we should have called this podcast. We should do that. What is it? Alan Davis thing where it's the as yet untitled. We don't put the title on till the end. Girl gang go down.
I think I've watched that.
I feel we get a lot of people on the hashtag.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. It held up for me. But once it's one of those films that once you know what's going on, the element of surprise is lost. It's one that you can only really watch it once because, it's. Yeah,
Or the trepidation's gone.
Yeah,
Because
because you know what's going to happen. But there was an interesting bit where I was watching it where it suddenly dawned on me, which I don't think I thought about before. I can't remember the main character's name, the one who, like, husband and kid died and then she comes back.
I can't remember. I must watch about
There's
10, 15 years
the
ago.
blonde one. It starts. She's driving along, and there's all the poles go through the window. Very Final Destination, and it kills her husband and kid. And it's like a year later, and they're all going out because the girls do the girl stuff, and
Going down.
go downhill in a hole,
Down,
and
down.
and she's one that. But it just something dawned on me that like, is she just mental, and is she the one's killing them all?
As Paul said.
Yeah, and it was just as I was watching it, I was just because it ends with that kind of weird ending where she's sort of with her daughter and a birthday cake, but it's not. It's just a torch, and it's her just sat there in the thing. It's like, well, that's made up. It's the other bit made up. Like kind of that she just murdered all her friends.
It's open to interpretation.
But she is in the sequel because there's a sequel.
Oh, is there? I didn't realise
Yeah,
it was a sequel.
I looked it up just to test my theory, and people have thought about it. But there was a sequel that she's in as well, but the sequel didn't do right.
Is it called The Ascent?
No, The Descent 2.
Going deep.
Deeper underground. I've got a few other bits, but I don't know if you want to say a few bits before I carry on, or.
I can do. So really, the only thing I've been watching is Manifest, because we're ploughing our way through that, because there's 5 seasons of it, or 4 seasons of it to watch. I think I'm on the final episode of season 3, so it's going to be jumping back to Netflix.
Cool. Are we peaking? Or are we...
Not really. I am now at that stage where, and I think I said it before about something a few months back, where you're watching something and you need a piss. You just go for a piss.
Yeah.
You don't.
We
Wait
don't
for
need
a lull.
We don't need no stinking pause button.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to stick with it because it's crap, but it's enjoyable crap. It's a bit like that Le Brer dinosaur thing where it is god awful, but in the same token.
That seems to be getting pushed though. I keep seeing adverts. There was a page in the paper for it the other day.
Was there?
I don't know
So
what.
we haven't gone back to it, to be fair, because they did a mid-season break.
I
Like the
don't
old
know if
days.
it's just like they've just spent that much money, but they seem to be really. I don't know if. Or it might be.
Maybe there's a new season.
Might be that maybe Channel 5 have got it or something. Like when it jumps across.
Well, yeah,
Because-
if it is, it's Channel 5, because they're the ones that got to deal with
Because they're
paranormal.
showing
Yellowstone
Yellowstone
Yellowstone,
on there as
yeah.
well and stuff. Maybe it's because of that, but it's just suddenly like there's like the Brer everywhere, and I think season 1's out on Blu-ray now, and it's suddenly like I'm not really seeing much about it apart from you saying it. Suddenly it's on billboards and things.
Or you're just
Noticing
it, yeah. So yeah, Manifest
I notice everything.
and The Joy of Painting.
Bob Ross. God himself.
Now it's on Sky Arts every day of the week at 7 o'clock. 2 episodes on the trot. It's just it's a cup of tea.
Yeah. I put it on at
On
school
the TV.
lunchtime sometimes, and all the kids just sit there quietly and watch it. It's like
Emily's started to watch it.
Hypnovision.
She's 4. So, what's he doing? And we count down how soon is he going to say happy little tree?
And there's no he's just happy little accidents.
Yeah.
It's our little secret.
It's your world. You can make it however you like. It's great. It's great television.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Bob Ross.
I mean, the story behind it all isn't. It's not bleak, but there's a lot of it. Yeah, it's I wonder if because what's his name? Owen Wilson has made a film. It's obviously not.
It's not him.
And it's not called. The show isn't called The Joy of Painting. But if you look at the
yeah.
Looks a lot like him.
But I haven't seen it or seen much about it. But I wonder if it is doing that.
It goes mental. I've seen it.
Oh, it's not them.
No, it's not a film. It's a. Or am I thinking something else?
I think it's something else.
There's a.
It's quite new with Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh no! There's a Oh, what's it called?
I don't know.
Creep Show. There's a Creep Show episode where they do that, and it's basically Bob Ross, and it's the TV show, but his show gets cancelled, and then in the same TV studio over the other side is Ted Raimi, and it's the one where they bring in the Book of the Dead, and then everything goes sort of tits up, and he has to save the day because he used to be in the army. Bob Ross was. Cause,
yeah, he was.
Yeah, drill sergeant. I still can't picture that ever. I go, jump and give me 20, maggot. Now do a little painting of some trees. But so if you look on, which is on Shudder, if you look for Creep Show, one of the episodes, that's what I'm thinking of, sorry. But they do a kind of, it's basically Bob Ross, but they call him so,
And Bob Ross didn't get mental. But there was a lot of legal wrangling over the format and the...
Yeah, because Bob Ross's, I think it's his son or his kids, are very... Because there was somebody else that helped him do it, and they've got him out now.
No, it's the other way around. So that family kicked Bob Ross's family out.
Oh, because they get all the money for all the paints and all the products and stuff.
Yeah, not Bob Ross's family didn't.
Oh, they didn't. I thought because I saw an interview with the son, and he seemed like not very.
No, they do now, but they didn't.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He before he died, he changed his will to bequeath most stuff to his family, but I don't know, it's not the Wachowskis, but it's something very similar style name. Where it's not the Wachowskis. Don't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know.
Don't go down on the rabbit hole that it's the Wachowskis.
I'm not going down on the Wachowskis.
Yeah, but so they were the ones because they were partners with Bob Ross Inc., which is the incorporated corporation. So when it was incorporated, the remaining partners are the ones that get. So as one person dies, the remaining partners are the ones that get the rest of it. Yeah. So it was actually the family that were frozen out, and that's the other family, the Wilikowskis or whatever they are, still pretty much have every painting that he ever did, and it's not been stored very well. None of them have been stored very well.
A lot of them are the same, really.
They're very much the same.
It's a river.
It's like he gets to a point.
There's
and
some happy little trees.
He's going to do it. He's going to put a big tree there, and there it goes. There's the big tree.
Yeah, that bit where you think he's ruined it, but he hasn't.
No, he's just this big black splurge goes across. What's he doing? And then boom, it's a tree.
Put a little bit of bark on there.
A wise man once said to me, "When in doubt, draw a tree."
Draw a tree. Yeah. Anyway, so that's been my television watching, Manifest and the Joy of Painting.
And,
wow.
And the life and history of Bob Ross.
Yeah. So back to you, Brett. Let's go back through your list.
Okay, we've got
I'll give you 7 minutes.
Cool.
Oh God, really?
Are we timed? This is our free flow show.
Even so, I've still got to edit it.
There's still some limits.
Okay, we've been revisiting. We're about halfway through season 1 of the X-Files now.
Okay.
Still a lot of good ones, a couple of tacky ones.
So not got to the family one yet.
Oh no, we're still in season 1.
I can't remember what season that's.
We're coming up to the second Tombs episode.
No, I don't because I won't remember.
Stretchy guy that eats livers. We did 2 episodes. Yeah, he was like the cool one. We've also I've introduced her to the crazy world of Degrassi. She's liking that. We even took in an episode of the Wuzzles.
Oh God,
that's messed up for a kid show. Looking back now. Because it's all things she hadn't seen for it, and also she'd never seen Peep Show before. Yeah. So we've just done season 1 of that.
See, I'm not Peep Show's biggest fan, to be honest. I watched it when it first aired, the first season, and I found that funny. But then that format for me just got old quick. Yeah.
Okay. I really liked it. And,
Which is a shame because I think both of them are really good. Their sketch show was great.
I remember not liking season 1 that much, but watching it back now, it's been very.
It sets everything up.
Older, but it's just it's just some really funny stuff and some cool one-liners and stuff. And then obviously Ahsoka on Disney Plus, the new Star Wars series.
You look at me excitedly as if
I at both of you.
No, but it was like the joy in your eyes as if I would have some input into this.
To watch it.
I don't need to watch it. I've not even gone
really
back
good.
to the Mandalorian.
But you need to watch Rebels.
I have watched Ahsoka.
Why did you mention it?
I forgot.
What did you think?
That's how good it is.
No, it's just I was too busy thinking about my barbecue. I also watched The Griffin as well on Amazon Prime. I thought it was okay. Have
you seen Rebels though?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I just got some issues with it at the moment.
Such as
this whole going to another galaxy. I'm not too fussed about. I'm also not feeling their relationships. They're not drawing me in at the moment. So I've only watched up to episode 2, but
cool. Well, that's
the one that's a hologram may as well just stay a hologram.
What, Mrs. Ewan McGregor?
Even when she's in the same room with them at the moment, there just doesn't really feel.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to be in it. I think that's basically her now.
And even Ahsoka isn't really as kick-ass as she is in Rebels.
Yeah, but she's older now.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I think she'll have a little bit of a fight. But I've really enjoyed it because it's Rebels, which was the best thing of Star Wars up to that point in live action. So I was just happy that they're going to do that because this is what the next film should have been.
Mm.
You know, imagine if they brought these out as films rather than what we got.
Yeah, but maybe that's what they should do. Just do a long 2-hour stint instead of a series. I don't know.
Yeah, cool. And the other thing I've been watching, which is highly recommended from Mr. Summers and Mr. Summers' special lady friend, is on Amazon Prime, and it is, I'll give you the full title, Harlan Coben's Shelter.
Okay.
All right.
There are currently, I think, 4 episodes that have been shown.
This is the one about the teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think I've read
at
it.
first you think, oh, it's teenagers, because Kate was...
No, it's a really good book.
But yeah, but it's been really good so far. It's very it reminds me a lot of the old sort of things we used to get on sort of BBC and ITV when they weren't worried about scaring children. You know, you're sort of running scared, old school Demon Headmaster, that sort of thing, where a bit drama around. You know, like when they could do things to kids and mess them up.
Yeah.
But obviously with a bigger budget because it's Amazon Prime. And it's not just full of people.
Well, so far, all the Harlan Coben adaptations for Netflix have been really good. So, no reason this one shouldn't be.
But this is Prime.
Oh, so is it?
There's a Harlan Coben twist here, which I didn't know about. I haven't seen all the ones on the Netflix.
Yeah.
Because this is...
so I thought he struck an exclusivity deal.
He has. But this is Mickey Bolitar, the nephew. So basically, the basketball player bloke, because I don't know anything about this, is only what I've read. The one on Netflix is in the books. It's the uncle and nephew. Does that sound right?
Well, all his books are. They're not. It's not.
I don't know that much about it. All I know is this program. I'm only going from what I read. But there's like an uncle, and he has to look after the nephew. Or something like that, because there's an accident with his brother and he has to take in the
I've no idea what he's saying.
or something like that. But they had to, so he's made all those stories and signed a massive deal with Netflix and adapted them however he has. I guess the nephew's been sort of taken out, and the nephew stories he's then sold to the other one. So he's so to be fair,
okay. So not all of his books are based on 2 characters.
Yeah, but I don't know.
So what you're saying is he's got
there's
a
a series of books. Yeah, well, so basically the uncle's in one on Netflix and the nephew's in another one on. He's kind of split them up in a clever ploy and signed exclusivity deals with both, but for each character. So some people are not liking it because obviously it's changed from the thing, but the series is really good. It's really cool, and bonus points for Didi Cohen for Grease as like the old teacher, Frenchie, who.
So that's it. That's his only reason for liking it.
No, it's really good as well, and yeah, and every time at the moment, it's one of those that. As you think you know the answers, they change the questions type thing, but in a good way, not just to be mysterious.
Yeah.
You know, you get a little clue and you think, oh, so that's going to be that. But then that is that, but that actually didn't mean that to begin with.
Cool.
Like, you know, yeah. So, but it's weekly. That's the only.
See, that was
So you
7
might want to
minutes.
wait till.
Told you.
You might want to wait till the end.
I
Or
will.
you might want to watch them all as
I'll
it
wait
goes
for them
along.
to finish.
But yeah, it's cool though because I actually want the next episode to come on so I can watch it rather than
You should do the
Oh,
Netflix
yeah.
ones as well. They're nothing to do with what you're talking about.
yeah. This,
Separate
no,
story.
but I've only found out about this recently. Yeah, so I've never heard of them.
They're
before.
adaptations of his other books.
Cool. And that's what I've been
And
watching.
that's what you've been watching. Cool. You got nothing else?
No.
What was it? You said you watched something just now. You said
Oh, the Griffin, but I thought we'd reached the end of our time.
no. You can do the Griffin if you want to do the Griffin.
Griffin on Prime.
Never heard of it. But...
No, it's new.
What's new?
So it's
brand new.
Yeah,
foreign
you
language.
wouldn't have heard of it.
So it's dubbed.
I'm too cool for school.
and it's foreign.
Mm.
Um,
I can read subtitles.
but that's cool. So it's set in the early 90s, and it's about a kid and his brother. Their dad was into some mythical stuff. He had a book. He died. Handed down to the big brother who owns a record store. They basically just play all the music we used to listen to, and it looks like they have to save the world, and there's lots of mystical beings in it. I've only watched 2 episodes, but they're good.
Cool. Okay.
Griffin, Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. Cool. That is what we've been watching. So, in our new format, because I was going to say it's time for the spotlight, but it isn't.
It isn't.
We are going to look at the headlines from our newsblast that was out earlier in the week and give a bit more meat on the bones.
And any other news things?
And
that
any
have
other
developed
news things
since
that
then,
come up since. So, the Spiderwick Chronicles and Nautilus have been ditched by Disney Plus, and they're going to be shipped off or shopped out to anyone that will take them. So their reason for this bizarre decision is that it cuts costs, and they need to cut costs. Are we buying that?
Not really.
Well, no, there's all these things about what they lied about their stock or whatever the value of the streaming thing and people business. I know there's a lot of business hoo-ha and magic being thrown around, isn't there? Saying because you were saying on the news thing you could go into a bit more on the technical.
Well, no, it's not the technical. It's basically yes, it's all under the banner of Disney, but so like Fox, I think is the one that made Spiderwick, possibly, or it could be Nautilus, obviously. But whichever way round it is, just because they all fall under, they still have to.
They bought it basically.
They have to
when
pay
they bought Fox.
Fox.
Yeah.
Then so it's all money shifting in the same company from one place to another, but to balance the books, it has to look like separate transactions. And then so if Disney Plus as an entity then buy it from Fox, they're losing money because they don't have a dedicated income stream that covers the cost. It's a bit like the fair play football thing.
Yeah.
So what they should do really is that they should strike a deal with Fox that says we'll pay you 10 million up front, and then as add-ons etc. you'll get another 5 million each year or whatever football contracts do now when they sell a player. Then it would look. Then they could cheat the rules and still get the product out there.
I just think it's a shame because they're not really releasing much good content other than, it seems, the Marvel stuff and Star Wars stuff, which is starting to get mixed reviews. And Spider Chronicles, the books, have a lot of content in there. The film was actually, I thought, quite good as well. So
I've not seen it.
I mean, it's one of those things. Everyone's still looking for the next Harry Potter at the moment, aren't they? They're hoping one of these things.
Well, yeah,
will
and they're
take
bringing
off
back
and,
Harry
yeah.
Potter.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other thing.
You know?
But I mean, but then they've gone back to like the Spider Chronicles. They've gone through all like the Stormbreaker books. The one we just talked about, Matey Harlan. I forgot his name now. I clicked off it. You know, The Shelter. You know, that's a series of books on this kit. You know, they're looking for
Lion,
that
the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
cool
All those
thing.
kind of
That'll
stuff.
probably come back again.
No, it is.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but don't you forget he insisted on bringing it up in a news blast
Oh,
a couple of
yes,
weeks
you're
back.
right. How did I forget?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry.
So
I apologise.
I just think they're running the risk of losing subscribers to Disney Plus, because a lot of the other
Oh, as it right no. That sounded like you meant that people were switching to no.
No.
Disney
No,
Plus
no,
are losing
yeah.
subscribers. Yeah.
because a lot of the other stuff that's on Disney Plus you can get elsewhere, or it's not Disney Plus anyway. It's some of the other stuff that they've got from the
but
likes of-
again, for note for our international listeners, the Disney Plus in the UK is slightly different to the Disney Plus Hulu that you get in the States. We get a lot more. And
We
get
do.
that Stars
There's
thing and
Stars,
stuff as well.
which is basically a lot of the Hulu stuff, and
FX and all the
FX,
Fox channels
yeah.
and that as well. So
so we're quids in over it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
change.
we got a wider range.
We get
over
Blue
in the
Sky.
UK.
Big Sky even, not Blue
Yeah.
Sky.
Blue Sky.
Don't know
They
what Blue
just
Sky
put-
is.
They just put all the Mayans on there as well, so I need to catch up on that.
Yeah, I didn't take to that. I think it was just
Well.
because I was so disappointed that Suns came to an end.
Yeah.
Even
We
though
all
it was a
were.
natural
We all
place for
were.
it to end because it had to end at some point. But
But I guess they'll sell Nautilus or whatever it's called, and
Yeah, someone will
Spider-Man
buy it.
Chronicles
You've
to
got-
somewhere like Paramount Plus or Amazon.
HBO Max.
I could see the BBC even going for something like Spiderwick, because although they probably haven't got a channel to put it on anymore,
or money.
because they don't give a shit about kids.
Yeah, no, they got nowhere to put it, have they?
No.
No, but they could put it. They could have it at the same. They could keep hold of it until Christmas time and put the same slot because they did. His Dark Materials is a similar.
Oh,
sort
and they did take on Lois and Clark or whatever
Mhm.
the
Oh,
new
yeah,
remake was
yeah.
called.
Superman, Lois, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe they
Lewis
put it on
and Clark.
ITVX.
Come on, Paul.
I said or whatever the new one was
They're
called.
fresh.
Yeah, it's now the freshest kids TV channel. So
On
they keep
a- on a-
advertising.
Disney Plus positive note, depending on your opinion, just been announced that She-Hulk Attorney at Law Season 2 will be happening, but they can't confirm to any dates yet because of all the strikes. So
See, you're looking again. You've got that look in your face.
I'm
as if
looking
I
at
give a
everyone.
shit.
I'm excited. No, but again, that's breaking news as we're talking now. So there are some things that they are focusing on, but again, like you say, it's Marvel. I think they've just got lost in the Marvel Star Wars time warp. No, what-
Bandwagon.
No, I just think
Vortex.
I just think-
Vortex.
Vortex.
I think Disney are in trouble. All the backlash that they're getting over even the live action of Snow White at the moment.
It's just Disney need to be more inventive. They're
Yeah.
just going back and redoing properties they've already got. I remember we talked about this a while back. I wondered if it was copyright, and Damien said it to keep the copyright. Damien said it didn't need to, and it didn't matter like that. And I don't know. There's a lot of fresh stuff out there. I mean, even if you don't like your Marvel or your Star Wars, there's still 100 other Marvel characters from all walks of life they could pick and do something with that haven't even been on TV or anything yet. They could just do in their own way. They don't have to MCU everything. I mean, DC haven't DC'd everything. They just keep making stuff anyway and then going, oh, it's another
shit,
Earth.
we're not going to bother.
It's another Earth. It's another Earth. It's another Earth.
I just think they've MCU'd up at the moment.
But that
Okay.
seems to be, yeah. So, is it just going to belly out, do we think? And they're just going to end up with Super Fox Disney plus Hulu Extra as a provider platform?
Possibly, but then they'll lose the legacy.
Yep.
People, so the people that subscribed to watch or to
Yeah.
see the old school Disney.
I can imagine if you've got kids, it's your quids in. I think you said it the other way. You know, everything's on there. You
Yeah.
can just stick them on, watch it, or else it's just moving beyond that. No one seems to want to at Disney.
I think it's because they just don't get what their identity is.
Yeah, I
anymore.
mean, Encanto was a backfire, wasn't it? Because Encanto was supposed to be the shit film. The other film that came out at the same time was supposed to be the big one.
I don't know.
And that, I can't remember what the other one was now. And they did the same with Frozen. Frozen was supposed to be the shit one, and the other film that came out was the one they put all the money into.
Big Hero 6.
And then that was it.
Great
And then
film.
Frozen, that Christmas, you couldn't get Frozen toys because they didn't make enough because they thought that was like the shit one just to put out to mop up, probably for the girls or whatever,
Yeah.
And so they're not even reading their own markets right when they're actually fully invested in something. I mean, Big Hero 6 ended up, I think they made a cartoon series of it as well. And people
It's
like
great
it.
film.
Kids at school love it. And they watch the cartoon as well. But, do Disney, or do the people running Disney know exactly what their audience want anymore? Is it just corporate copyright holding and corporate, what's the word?
Just land grabs. So
Yeah.
that's
They
what
need
they've done.
Walt back. That's what they need.
Yeah.
The wholesome family entertainment company.
Bring him back. No, not him.
Just unfreeze him.
No, Walt Disney, the businessman. This is my business. This is how we're doing. They need
Well,
someone at the helm.
Cryogenically frozen somewhere, so they could just thaw him out now.
Do it in CGI, with an AI algorithm.
This is what Walt would have said.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a time
Anyway,
before licensed property.
Let's move on.
Yeah, it's just a shame.
So, Star Trek Prodigy, which got cancelled, they put some money together and flew a plane with a hashtag Save Star Trek Prodigy over Hollywood, over the Netflix studios. I can't be bothered to find it on my screen now, but over
Yeah, we get the idea.
it's Star Trek. I lost the will to live.
It's always going to be hard when it's a cartoon. But sometimes things aren't worth bringing back. And there's a lot of good Star Trek stuff out there.
But again, but it is another one where they've made it,
Yeah.
but they're not going to show it. So it's like,
Well, it hasn't finished post-production, to be fair, which there could be a lot of cost in. So if they might have done some animation, but it doesn't necessarily mean people got voices or it's all nice and tidy and cleaned
yeah,
up.
true.
And that's where the big bucks lie. So,
But,
but
yeah,
I
a
don't
lot
think
of
it's
people-
worth dwelling on, to be perfectly honest.
Again, it goes under what we just talked about. You're developing shows and you're losing money. Why, you're binning them, either finish them.
Yeah, but but that isn't a way forward. If you're making something and you get 3/4 of the way through, and it hasn't worked or you don't like it or whatever, it doesn't mean you carry on.
I don't know. I agree with that, but it is working. It had a following, and it had.
But
they
maybe
did
it doesn't have enough of a following.
They had a whole season of it, of 20-odd episodes. But if you're agreeing a season 2,
But then if it got greenlit on the basis that we're going to get 20 million viewers and it got 12, then they're going to go, well, you.
Yeah, but they waited to announce season 2. It wasn't like it came out and went, yeah, let's give it season 2. It was later on after it settled down, going, yeah, we're going to make another one, and then they started it.
I'm just playing.
I agree with you, but it's that indecisiveness, I think, and I think that's how a lot of these companies are at the moment, from Disney to Paramount to everyone else. Everyone's just sort of looking over something, and as soon as something doesn't go right at the box office or whatever, everyone's feeling the pain of it because they got to get that money back.
It reminds me a lot of the Football League 2 years ago. You remember when they'd give a manager like 2 games?
Yeah.
And if he didn't turn it around, he was
You're
off.
fired.
And the amount of times that happened.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Saints proved that sticking with the manager is a bad idea. So, swings and roundabouts.
No, I just meant in the way that all the production companies are a bit scared because it is a lot of money to invest in something.
And they've got so much to go against now. There's, God knows how many streaming services. then you've got the likes of YouTube. You've got younger audience don't watch linear television pretty much at all. It's all on
Plus, it's
streaming.
a bigger ground for the independents to break through now. Because, like you say, you can make a film, put it on YouTube for £2, and people can buy it or even for free.
And so you haven't got the traditional advertising methods. So, we literally have to search for things to want to watch because we want to watch something. But the younger audience doesn't give a shit. If you see what I mean, they're not looking for something like we do. They're
just going to watch what Mr. Beast tells them to watch.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's move on to some more of the headlines that we had earlier in the week. Arnold Schwarzenegger has taken on his most unexpected career move yet by being a brand ambassador for Parkside DIY products. Parkside is the Lidl's DIY range of tools, I guess, and bits and bobs for DIY.
Is he
Bizarre.
Is he having his mansion done up?
I don't think he.
And he's got like a subcontractor, and he's trying to get in on the action by getting them tools and stuff and bits and pieces. I don't know. I can't think of any other reason why he'd want to do this.
It's just bizarre, isn't it? My bet is just tax bill.
He looks
Oh, he's got to pay for the pothole rebuilding that he did it all wrong. Now he's got to pay for it all.
Or get Parkside to do it for them.
Yeah.
I've just found one of the adverts, and it would appear that he is doing every single film he's ever been in one advert.
Yeah.
I thought
I haven't seen it, but that's how I read it.
Yeah, but man, he looks old and
But he's 76.
Yeah, but the top half of his face looks like it is Arnold, and the bottom half looks like it's like someone's cut two Guess Who cards in half and put them in. And he's definitely not as he hasn't got the movement he once had either. There's a lot of standing still and slight steps.
He's entitled to that.
Oh yeah, no, he's earned it. He's done it.
I mean,
Yeah.
And what he's put his body through in that 76 years.
A few triple bypasses and everything as well. But it looks like a fun advert. It was with no sound, I admit. But and there's no. He's just in a shirt and trousers. There's no little colours. It just looks like some sort of DIY advert. So they're not.
No, I think he's in a dark green top in the still that I saw, which is Parkside's.
Yeah, so
colours.
The little
red, dark green and red is their
okay.
little
Yeah,
or whatever.
There's no blue and yellows or anything like that.
That's it's
Parkside.
It's Parkside, not Lidl.
Parkside.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. And then the Highlander reboot starring Henry Cavill is still in the works. So as we said earlier in the week, it's been 2 years since it was announced, for want of a better word. It wasn't really officially announced, but it was a thing that he got attached to back 2 years ago, and apparently it is still in the cards. On the cards. And by the sounds of it, he's given it a lot more thought than they did the first time round. So it's not just going to kill everybody in the first film and then make up a lot of nonsense for the rest of the time.
The big question that Hollywood wants to know is, will he have a moustache in it? Or will it be CGI'd out?
So what?
Will he have a moustache in it?
Why would he have a moustache?
Oh, this is that thing where he had a CGI moustache in one of the films.
No, they had to take it out.
His moustache
They had to take it out of the
something.
Snyder cut, didn't they? And it looked really bad because it was just like.
Because it was reshot or something. I don't know.
You didn't keep up any of the costume.
No, I'm just saying. Well,
No, it just looked really bad. It was just like, here's someone else's lips put over the top. That was how good it was. It looked like they cut it out and stuff. No, I think Highlander's a good thing. And it needs, as I said, the new thing. It could do with it. It could be done really well. They've learnt their lesson on the TV show. I think there was even a cartoon, wasn't there, at one point?
rings a bell. Well, I don't care. I'm interested. I like Henry Cavill. He's shown that he can wield a sword in The Witcher. So yeah, I don't mind watching him wield a sword in Highlander.
Who would, I mean, on the news earlier in the week, we talked about bringing back Clancy Brown as the Kurgan, but you were saying he's too old. Who would be your Kurgan now then? That sort of big, imposing, evil mofo from across time who doesn't care. Who would, nowadays, who would you put against Henry Cavill? I throw the question out to you.
I don't know. It's a tough one because you got Dave Bautista.
Cool.
But he was in the
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No,
Do
the Apple one with Jason Momoa in it. So,
in my mind, you're going to He-Man-ish.
But the problem is, Henry Cavill is quite a big chap, and you want your hero not to be bigger than the others. Otherwise, it's kind of well, he's going to win.
Yeah, but then the Kurgan was tall.
He was big,
but he wasn't. He's not like because what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, he wasn't shredded. He
shredded.
Was just like,
he was just tall and.
Yeah, the problem is Henry Cavill's quite tall as well.
Is he? I
and
thought he was quite
muscly.
short.
No, he's like 6'2".
Yeah, he's 6'2" in boots.
Yeah.
It was that MTV Awards when he presented the award and he was like the smallest person on the stage. That was everyone went, "You're Superman."
Yeah.
That was what killed his
We
Superman.
googled this the other week.
Yeah.
He's 6'2".
Yeah, but
in boots he'll be 6'4".
Yeah, but he didn't look it.
Anyway, he's not small.
Anyway, yeah. No, but my point was is that I wouldn't go for that shredded ripped thing. I'd go for because I think part of the Kurgan is that he's almost not. He wasn't emaciated, but he's gaunt and.
I don't know. He's a big lad.
He's big and bulky, but he wasn't. Because everyone now, if you were to do it, I think everyone would go for that Chris Hemsworth look of 20 hours a day at the gym or some nonsense like that. Where actually, it would be more fitting and more kind of creepy, if you like, if he was
just a big bastard.
Yeah.
I don't think now.
Just naturally big rather than a workout type big.
Well, we'll wait and see.
I can't think of anyone because I don't know anyone.
Well, let's face it, there's going to be a range of baddies he's going to have to take on.
Yeah.
No doubt there'll be some ninja warrior.
Well,
there will be, won't there?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope they don't go that route and just have like.
They will.
You know, 1 week it's a samurai guy now. It's a ninja guy. Yeah. This guy does like.
Well, but let's face it. If you want to be immortal, and if you're using a sword,
well, you got to take them all. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Gotta kill them all. Yeah.
There's no point fencing though, because they're short little swords.
And they can't fight without going on guard, so he's not going to creep up on him.
Yeah, so there will be ninjas. There will be, a range of different.
There will be ninjas.
There'll probably be, maybe different weapons as well, not just swords. Maybe
lightsabers.
Not lightsabers. No crossovers. No rebel moons either. No, but maybe spears and stuff. Double-ended spears.
Spears and stuff.
Yeah,
Brittany. Just Brittany and Jamie just whack a spears at them. I'd watch that.
Cool. Right before this descends into the true madness that is our minds.
Cool. But yeah, who do you think should be the new Kurgan? Message
Put in the
below,
comments.
or send in the comments, or email us. Address at the end.
Cool. So that was the news.
I've got a little bit more that's come out this week. If you're interested.
I'm always interested, Mr. Summers. I want to know what some comic dude has done this week.
It's not a comic dude, technically. It's a guy called Zack Snyder. To some he's a comic, to some he's a filmmaker.
Okay, cool. So we talked about Rebel Moon last week, and we got the date for part 2, which is in April next year. We know that part 1 drops late December, just in time for Christmas.
Joy.
Be interesting to see if they're going to bring out toys.
Yeah, well, this is where it gets interesting, because Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, is the 23rd December on Netflix. But, this is the query I have, he's also going to release an extended director's cut version with an extra 60 plus minutes of footage on it. So you get Rebel Moon and then a director's cut. But my point is it's on Netflix. They've given you the freedom to make it. Why do you need a director's cut when they're letting you do it? I get it with the Snyder cut because someone else finished the film. He went back, used the footage he filmed, put it together, made it the way he wanted. Like most director's cuts, normally it's to correct studio interference or whatever, isn't it? That's the point of a director's cut. Is that right, or have I had that wrong for years?
No, that's
so why are you
kind of
getting
it. Sometimes it's just cash in.
Yeah, I mean, it has been
Blade Runner.
Yeah, well, how many director's cuts do you need to get your fucking film right?
So I guess there's two bits, isn't there? There's the one bit where you've got a film runtime where whoever you're doing it for will say it needs to be under a certain amount.
Yeah, but Zack Snyder fans don't care. All they want
Yeah,
is
but they're not
Hallelujah's
just
in it
after.
and it's 10 hours.
They're not just after Zack Snyder fans.
Oh, no, I agree
And
with
it's
that.
another way of just generating more hype and more money as well. Because don't forget, he doesn't want just 2 films.
Oh, yeah, this is what he wants this to be, his new
Yeah.
franchise. And I'm not knocking him doing it. I'm just like, the whole point was he's been talking for ages about
But if
it's
you are
Netflix, it's his
Paul's right.
vision.
If you're a casual Netflix subscriber who has no idea who Jack Snyder is, and to be fair, not a lot of information on.
Or Zack Snyder.
Zack.
What do they say?
Jack.
There you go then. See, me, in other words, if I saw Rebel
Yeah.
Moon
3 hours long.
3 hours and something minutes long, fuck off, I'm not watching that. Don't care. Don't give
Oh,
a
yeah,
shit.
no, I agree with you on that.
No, so that's why. But that your question is, why is he doing it? So the answer is Netflix have said no, we don't want a 3.5 near on
Part
4 hour
one.
film, part 1, because it will not get casual viewers. It would only get the diehards and the people that know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So you make a 2 hour long film. That's about the average now.
Record
for
all
a
the other
film.
shit
Yeah.
Do all your other shit, and we release that 2 months later.
after the second parts come out.
Yeah, well, whatever then.
But that other stuff isn't going to appear anywhere else. So it's not like. So my point is, could he have not made, say, 3 films?
Well, not if
Well,
it all fits in the same story. No, you can't, can you? If it's because if
If
it's
there's
just
a
Well,
end of part
talking
one.
about the vision now. I get your idea of the length of time. I'm talking about him as a writer director.
Yeah, but if you're doing part 1, there's going to end on a crescendo
Mm-hmm.
for part 2. But there's probably loads of other stuff that he wants to cover in part 1 that, he said, oh, I can't, otherwise it's going to bump up to 3 hours.
No, I get that, but then shouldn't he be dealing with that as someone who creates rather than?
But still,
But if you can't go, well, I'm not going to do it then. I don't get why you don't understand what the issue is.
what you got against Zack Snyder, Brett?
I haven't. I actually liked Watchmen, and
Yeah, so this is why he's doing it. He's releasing it for 2 hours because, that's the average runtime of a film nowadays that people want to
Mhm.
sit down and watch. They're used to it after all the Marvel films. If it's 3 hours in length, a lot of people wouldn't go and watch it. However, mainstream people come along and say, oh, that was good. Part 2's coming out in April. Great, I'm going to watch that. And also the die-hard fans get the Snyder Cut, which is 3 hours long.
Which is longer screen shots of
yeah, I
spaceships.
suppose you're right, and you'll get a solar flare. You'll get, I guess, more hits because they'll watch both and compare them as well.
Yeah.
And all that, but if you've then got a second one coming out a few months later, that's going to have stuff from, I guess, the director's cut of it.
Yeah, but then how many director's cuts?
And will there be a
really-
director's cut of the second
No,
one
but
as
what
well?
if how many director's cuts actually add new elements to a film that already exists? All it does is make the film longer in scenes that they were superfluous to the original because they didn't necessarily move the plot on any forward. So I'd imagine it's the same for this. It's just going to be
I know. Apparently,
longer.
there's loads more character detail and actual scenes.
Okay, but loads more character detail doesn't change the story arc of the film, does it? It just gives you some more depth on the characters.
And by next Christmas, we'll have director's cut of 1 and 2 ready.
It's
for people to watch.
it's a settling deep dive that highlights his legitimate extended universe vision, and you'll get to see a lot It's just in a more painted, all-in way that explains everything.
Yeah, so you can't. It's not like you can go, well, I'll tag this into the next episode or tag it into another film. It's just more gumph. It's more meat to the bones that are probably already fat enough as they are.
Yeah. And it might also be padding out some of the characters that he's going to develop in the other Rebel Moon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So then, if I'm Joe Public and I watch the normal version, then go watch the second version, and then suddenly I don't understand anything that's going on because I haven't watched the extended.
That's not what
version.
it'll be. It'll just be.
Yeah, well, I think it will.
Well, let's wait and see. Blimey, come on! You don't need an argument. There's nothing to argue about. We're all in agreement. It's going to be brilliant, aren't they, Damien?
Absolutely not.
Well, we'll
It's not
see.
really your thing, is it?
I just think it's weird that someone who's moaned about his freedom and wanting to make films that long for ages.
But he
goes
is.
into that.
He's getting to make films that
And
long.
Netflix get the one they want. Oh no.
Yeah,
he gets the one he wants too. It's a win-win.
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, we'll find out for sure when Rebel Moon Part 1 A Child of Fire premieres December the 23rd on Netflix.
And at least they're releasing Part 2 just like 4 months after that. It's not like June, where there's like 3 years in between them. Oh, and there might be a June 3 coming. Great.
Yeah, at least he's getting the film is coherently, not like June, where they like gave 5 years in between. So yeah, so looking forward to it anyway. But let's see what he does.
Cool.
And again.
Thank you. Now it's time
Yes!
for that moment you've all been waiting for.
It's back.
It's
Drop,
back.
drop zone.
It's time for the drop zone.
Drop zone. Drop zone.
Right, so first up in the drop zone, we have whichever one comes up on my screen first, and that will be
Rebel Moon.
Roswell
Dun, dun, dun.
Delirium. Roswell Delirium.
And that was the last day I saw her. The day I was taken.
Was that the first and only time you've been abducted?
Does anyone copy my transmission?
Urban legend has it that Space Rock is a place with healing powers that originated from the crashed spaceship in Roswell. So, anyone believe in aliens?
What a freak. Loser.
If anything ever happens, I'm gonna save you. Didn't that place go sour after the attack?
Nobody knows if that's true or not. It's not like anybody ever found it, but we're gonna try.
I don't know if it's a distress call or what, but that transmission has been repeating for the last 51 days.
Do you know that you're exposed to top secret military exercise? But you learned of the Soviets.
So I didn't make contact with them?
I'm sorry, them?
Aliens? The unidentified has to be an alien spacecraft. We need to find that black box and see what really happened.
They took her.
Who took her?
What happened to Firefly?
Do you know where she is?
The White House has just been evacuated. No sign of how many more are headed this way.
Are the aliens coming?
I think we've come to the end of this journey. It's time to say goodbye to Space Rock.
So what do we think?
That was Anthony Michael Hall, wasn't it?
It was Anthony Michael Hall.
And I saw Flash Gordon too.
Yep, so I think this could be the best 80s movie since I've forgotten his name now.
Psycho Gorman.
Psycho Gorman. I think this could be the best 80s movie since Psycho Gorman.
I think this is going to be the best film made by loads of different people, filmed all at different times, edited together to be one film of all time.
Okay, explain.
Well, I think they just got all those different people to film different scenes. They probably didn't know what was going on with all the other bits, and like they got Sam Jones for a day and went, say these things into a camera. They got Anthony Michael Hall for a day and went, say these things into a camera, and then like they're all going to get put in a film, and it looks alright, but it's, and I think it was one of the London brothers in it as well. Was it Jason and Jeremy London?
Could be.
And it looks good.
You have described most of filmmaking
films
process
are
for
made,
most films.
Yeah, but this one, like, like where it's sort of done on the cheap, but like
they all sit around together in the green room playing poker.
No, but they don't.
You get
film,
a week.
They don't film Flash Gordon, Sam Jones on like one day, and then 3 years later film someone else, and then 6 months later film someone else, and then like.
How do you know they've done that? And why are you not talking to the microphone? And
I thought I was. My face is like literally on it.
It is now.
I thought it was
So
anyway. I can't hear it in my ears, so I don't know.
I like a lot of this, I think. It's hard to tell from just a trailer. But they're keeping it small scale and also going large scale as well, it seems. Because the White House has been evacuated. It's not just one girl, almost throwback to Jodie Foster in Contacts, sat in front of a CB unit.
Yeah, if it's her dad at the end, I'm not going to be happy.
But yeah.
And wasn't that The Rock, Captain Kirk fought the lizard going on?
What?
As well. That the Rock.
They'd probably go to this.
And Bill and Ted died.
I say, if you need a space place, you go there.
Yeah, that's
if you need a Western place, you go to Monument.
Yeah,
Valley.
Roswell, the TV show.
Yeah, Monument Valley.
Because it is that. That's why they go there. Yeah. It's cool.
Do you want the synopsis of the film?
Go for it.
Tell me. I didn't realise you had it, so well, apologies.
That's quite right. So, Roswell Delirium.
That's in your brain.
Roswell Delirium takes place in Roswell in the 80s when the Soviets launched multiple nuclear attacks on the USA. 2 years later, radiation poisoning is at its peak. Unbeknownst to the population, and a magical place called Space Rock has emerged. After destruction of Area 51, out of desperation, people have come to believe that this land will heal their loved ones, but only if they surrender them to the aliens. While the film is centered around the aftermath of the Cold War, it's ultimately about the complex relationships between a mother and her daughter and how they navigate life post-nuclear attack. It will be released at some point after the strikes, basically. So until they get the strike stuff resolved, there is no release date.
Oh, okay, so now there's a whole new twist and the fact that they're rewritten history as well.
Seems that way, yeah.
Cool, I don't mind that.
No?
It's a bit different.
No, local to it.
I'm liking the 80s look to it, to be fair. And D. Wallace is in there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You're on to a good start there.
I think they managed to capture. Can we just scroll it back a second? There was like a huge list.
That's not the same.
Okay.
That's not.
So
The...
the next
But at
one.
least they've done something a bit different as well.
Yeah.
Rather than it's a body, it's Roswell, all those aliens.
Oh, it's got nothing to do with Area 51, if you like.
Yeah.
Per se.
It's more the town after. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, it'll be on my watch list. It's got Sam Jones in it. I'm still the only person who's still like the Highwayman.
It's got a lot of positives. Looking forward to it.
Cool. Right. Next up, we've got what looks to be
a film.
Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose.
Talking Mongoose, you say?
Which is based on true events.
They all are.
I am Dr. Nandor Fodor.
The world's foremost parapsychologist.
I am not a skeptic.
This is the strangest case I have ever encountered.
A family living in a farmhouse claim a talking mongoose lives in their barn. Creature's name is Jeff.
What do you think about it?
A talking mongoose.
The Irving family are peculiar.
Did you observe this creature?
No.
No.
I did hear it.
We are going to the Isle of Man. I have almost 20 years of research in this field.
You're here to see Jeff.
Is the creature here?
Well, because we can't see him, doesn't mean he ain't here.
I see.
The daughter is a ventriloquist.
Dr. Fodor has a tremendous skepticism indeed.
This is an inexplicable farce.
I'd say the wee rascal's probably watching us right now.
Everybody on this island has their Jeff story. Tell me yours.
You and I both know there ain't no Jap.
Garden State, Clear State. Can you tell him to come out so we can see him? Is that him there?
What is the Irving's motive? It strikes me as con artists.
We hear it with our eyes as much as we do our ears.
These people are lying.
I think he exists. I'm certain of it.
Just show yourself. I mean you no harm. Please. Jeff! Just show me that you're real.
Dr. Fodor, here's a call for you. It's from him.
Hello?
Tomorrow I shall let you see me.
What do we reckon of that then?
I'm in.
I mean, this is a very famous cryptid case, if you like.
I was going to say as well. Is this the beginning of a Nandor Fodor series? If this works, because just like
I don't know, because I don't know. I don't recognise the name.
No, I don't. Right.
As in, I know Jeff the Talking Mongoose story, but I don't recognise the name.
Is this from the Fortean world?
Yeah, very much so. Google Jeff the Talking Mongoose. It made headlines in the 50s, 40s, something like that. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I'm all in on this.
It's got the cast.
Yeah,
it's certainly got the cast.
It has.
Did I spot Paul Kay as well?
You did spot Paul Kay. Yeah.
I don't think a lot of those people would sign up to this if it wasn't a bit good. It reminds me a lot of the director that does a load of the weird Tenenbaum stuff, where there's those kind of characters in it in different situations. I don't know. It doesn't strike me instantly as my cup of tea. So as I said, I might let you watch it.
Do you want the spiel?
Go on, give me the spiel.
What's the spiel?
So, based on a possibly true story set in 1935 London, Simon Pegg plays the famed paranormal psychologist Dr. Nandor Fodor, who travels with his assistant Annie, or Anne I should say, played by Minnie Driver, to investigate a family's claim of a talking animal. Already skeptic, Fodor is determined to find the truth, but uncovers a series of questionable motives related to the supposed talking animal. And you've got Christopher Lloyd there, who's playing. I think he's playing Harry Price, which is another famous name in the para.
Yeah, Dr. Harry Price.
Is he? Yeah, thought he was. So yeah, I'm all in.
Is this like a Netflix or something?
It is a
Gary Beadle. That's what it was. Paul Truman.
I've lost it again. I think I saw Paramount coming up on there, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's a cinema release.
There we go. In
Saving
September.
Films. Saving Films. How they've grown.
Ooh.
You think Saving started with Power Rangers?
Yes, I am aware of it. I don't know why I know that, but
saying,
I do know that.
I'm just saying.
This is not his thing.
Yeah.
But this looks like your thing.
It is my thing.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this.
Cool.
This actually might take me back to the cinema.
And you are actually smiling as well.
It's the first time I smiled all night.
In 102 episodes, whatever it is, he's like something.
Happy days. Right, should we go on to the last one in our drop zone?
Yeah.
It's a TV show.
This
It's
is
not a cinema.
Netflix.
This is Netflix. This is Netflix's One Piece.
Ah, the piratey show.
The piratey show, indeed.
Pirates of Straw Hats or whatever they are.
Guineas meets Sandman. I don't know. That's my.
Guineas meets Gilliam meets manga.
Well, this is another Netflix live adaptation of anime manga that they've been trying for a number of years now. They tried it with Death Note, they tried it with Cowboy Bebop, and I'm sure there's a few others, and none of them have really stuck.
No, they cancelled Bebop pretty much straight away, didn't they?
And they're looking for that magic. If they keep doing it, one of them's going to be a hit in the franchise.
So I think this looks quite good. I mean, I
like
covered this in the news a couple of weeks back when I was on my own. So that's when I found out about it. I knew nothing about it until then.
Yeah, it's got a lot of hype out on the internet.
I think it looks cool.
No, it looks good, but for me at the moment, it'll be something I'll probably wait.
See, this is why things get cancelled. Because you wait to see if they get cancelled, then they get cancelled.
Well, hold on, it's a film.
It's not a film, it's a series.
I thought it was a film.
No, it's a
series.
8 or 10 part series.
Okay.
So it's like, no, I will, but I need the time to invest in it, and I've got too many shows on the go at the moment. But I will get there and watch it.
As long as, and I didn't get it from that trailer, but they have a tendency, particularly when they regurgitated something from manga, to make it overly silly with canned laughing of everyone around. This feels a bit...
It doesn't look like they've done that.
No,
they didn't do that with Bebop either, actually, to be fair.
Bebop,
I thought Bebop was quite good. I quite enjoyed
it. They went more, they give it like the unique look, didn't they? They went more stylish with it.
I guess it was a little bit style over content, to be fair. But for
worked.
knowing
It
that it was anime, actually that is what I was expecting. So, but this doesn't look like they've done style over content. It looks more, if you can say grounded isn't the right word when you've got some sort of leviathan jumping out of the water and devouring a boat, but it doesn't look like they've stylized the fight scenes to make them comic booky or anything like that.
They look good.
Yeah.
They look
very
slick.
Yeah, very Sinbadian
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, and I love that stuff.
It was like Harrowhouse and each other stuff. Yeah.
I think a lot of this is going to fall to the young protagonist and whether you can like him or whether he comes across as being
likeable.
A brat.
Yeah.
No pressure. but like everything, you want a hero that you can believe in.
As Poison once said.
Yeah. And it looked like he had a stretchy leg as well.
Yeah.
No, because he didn't
Can't beat a stretchy leg.
Didn't eat a magical fruit or something, and that allows him to be all bendy.
Look like it, something like that.
I wondered because he said something about monkey, and then I was like, "Is it?"
No. That's the thing with this guy. He's eating a magical fruit, and that gives him elastical powers.
Well, that's what monkey did. He ate the forbidden fruits.
Of course, it didn't.
Gained more knowledge.
Well, maybe it's a
like a journey to the west kind of analogy. Kind of what I was thinking, which that does interest me.
I'll be watching it.
Yeah, and we've got, well, in fact, what's the
Not
date
long to
today?
go.
Not
Today.
long to go. Yeah.
Not long to go.
Yesterday.
Sweet. So that was the Drop Zone. Are you glad it's back?
Yeah.
Are you glad it's back? Let us know in the comments.
People are saying they want more in it.
Already.
No. Three's enough. It's stressful doing all these buttons at the same time.
That's what she said.
Exactly. Right. So that has been the Cult Faction Podcast, episode 111. It's time to start.
111?
It was 111, wasn't it?
Is it really?
Yeah. 111 podcasts. I was about to say straight to video podcast.
It's a bit like that.
So it's time to start our shutdown procedure. As we always say, week in, week out, don't forget you can rate and review us on your preferred podcast app. If you're watching on the YouTube,
like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, all the buttons that are around here, there, somewhere.
Don't hit the downward facing.
No, hit
what's
the thumbs
next
up.
week if we're playing at home?
I haven't got. Give me a chance,
Oh,
Summers.
right.
Christ.
Wow.
Jesus.
You normally do that before the shutdown.
He said he's starting.
But we're doing it. This is a different format. We're not doing
I
the
forgot
spotlight,
we've
are
thrown
we?
the book out the window.
Careful, otherwise you'll take away Drop Zone. You know
I
what it's
will.
like.
Don't tempt me.
Get it back.
Yeah, it could happen. Yes, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Rate and review us on podcast app. We're on Twitter and all the other ones. All of the social medias.
TikTok,
we
Instagram,
are out there
X.
doing stuff,
X.
chatting, making videos, generally having a good time.
Sharing the gospel of cult.
Exactly. So next week is a spotlight episode, and that spotlight will turn to Mr. Summers' choice, which is
Scarecrow one.
The Long Night of the Scarecrow, the Dark Night
Dark
of
Night
the
of the
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. Sorry, I thought
See
you
that?
would say I thought you were doing it all. So I was like, sorry. Dark Knight and the Scarecrow.
He said that like he
Like I'm going to edit it, yeah.
I know he's not. But I was doing my bit to show my professionalism.
Oh, you were professional. You weren't even paying any attention.
And you couldn't remember the name of the film you've chosen.
That was mainly it. And it was of the Scarecrow. I was at Long Night, Dark Night.
Which is available on YouTube if you do a little bit of searching around.
Yeah, I think it's free on YouTube.
You want the 1981 version. Not the horrible one that had the same name years later.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with it.
No. Cool. Right. I think that is the shutdown procedure done. I think that is the reminder.
Mothership emails.
Oh, God. Right. Yeah. Okay. Fair dues. So, for news, reviews, and general comment pieces and previews and whatever other nonsense we think is worthy of going on the Cult Faction website, you go to
cultfaction.com.
And if you don't want to write any messages down there,
please do though.
Interact with us on Twitter.
Do that.
Then you can email us at
cultfactionpodcast@mail.com.
There we go. You have been watching and listening to the Cult Faction Podcast 111, whose title I no longer remember.
Terminated
Sell-Offs. Something like that.
Sell-Offs.
Yeah. So, it's a goodbye from me, Damien Hicks.
It's a goodbye from me, Paul Hawkins.
And it's a goodbye from
Brett Summers.
Boom.
Shalaka.
Superman.
Last week, it was all... and then, hello and welcome to the Cult Faction Podcast. I'm Brett Summers.
That's what happens. It's showtime. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck off. Fine. I go back in my box.
What was he all for?
I didn't know whether I was coming